In this video, you are going to learn how to use the graphs of a system of linear equations to determine the number of solutions of the system. Looking at this graph to my far left, once you have the two lines meeting at one point or intersecting at a point, the system is said to have one solution. So again, looking at the graph as it is, once we have both lines crossing each other at one point, right here, this system of linear equation is said to have one solution. This equation represents this line here, and this equation here represents this line. Both lines meet at this point here, which is the solution to the system of equation. Now, looking at the system of equation as it is, not the graph, looking at the system right here, how can we tell that this system has one solution? Once the slope of the system of linear equations are different, it means that it has one solution. So if you look at the slope for the first equation, the slope is +1. Remember, a variable by itself means that there's a coefficient of 1, even if you don't see a number there. If you look at the second system, it has a slope of -1. So the slopes are different, therefore the system has one solution. Looking at our second graph, once the two lines are parallel, it means that the system has no solution. Parallel lines are lines that run in the same direction, but they never meet. If you should extend this line, these two lines here, they will never cross each other at any given time. Therefore, this system has no solution because the lines are parallel. This equation represents this line here, and this equation represents this line. How do we look at the system of equation itself and tell whether or not it has no solution? If you look at the slope for the first equation and the slope for the second equation, both the slopes are the same, but looking at the y-intercept, they are different. So once the y-intercepts are different and the slopes are the same, it means that it will have no solution. The slope again here is +1, and the slope here is also +1. So when you graph these two equations, this system of equation, just like what we have on the graph here, the lines will never intersect. They will never meet. They will never cross each other. Therefore, they have no solution. The system has no solution. Looking at our third graph here, if you notice the system here, this line here represents that equation, and this line here represents what? This equation. The line intersect at every point, they are the same line. So these two equations form one line. So once the two equations are the system of linear equation form one line, it means that the system has infinitely many solutions. Once the system form one line, when you graph the system of equation and it is just one line, that system is said to have infinitely many solutions. Looking at the equation as it is here, once it have infinitely many solutions, it means that the slope is the same and the y-intercept is the same. Here we have x plus y equals -2, and here we have 3x plus 3y equals -6. You might be saying that, but they are two different equations. No, if you should write both of these in slope-intercept form, they would be the same equation. All right, so once again, how do we know that a system has infinitely many solutions once they have the same slope and the same y-intercept, they are the same. So we just looked at how to determine how many solutions a system of equation have using the graph and also how using the equation. Now we are going to look further at some more example. Looking at this example here, how many solutions does this system have? Remember, once you have one line, it means that both equation or both the system of equation form one line. Therefore, it have infinitely many solutions. Once you have parallel lines, it means that the system has no solution. And once the line meets or crosses each other at one point, the lines intersect at a point, it means that the system has what? One solution. So one line is many solution, infinitely many solution. A parallel line, a pair of parallel line means no solution. And once they intersect at a point, it has one solution. And that is how you determine the number of solutions for a system of linear equations using a graph and by looking at the equation itself.